Hi, Debbie Strawhan, Realtor with Avanti Way Realty, Space Coast, Florida. Here just to go over the housing stats for Brevard County for August. So a quick review of the median sale price for single-family homes shows a slight decrease. Homes sold, we see a little bit bigger increase, but again, it is August. Kids are going back to school. This is usually not a very big sales month anyway. Houses are sitting on the market a little bit longer, which we've been seeing that all, mostly all year for that. Our month supply inventory, we've increased a little bit as of this time last year. On the condo market side, we're seeing again, still increased prices. They're selling about the same. They're staying on the market a little bit longer, but they've increased their inventory quite a bit. I've seen a lot of condos go on the market this year, and so I'm interested to see what the condo market's going to look like as we start into the season, which starts around October or so, and see if some of the prices come down a little bit because they were very inflated and owners were kind of keeping them on the market a long time just to see if they could get someone to buy it. So I'll be interested to see what happens with that. But I wanted to go a little more in detail about some of the predictions that several top sources had on where they thought prices were going to go, and talk a little bit about the a lot of times in the media and on social media, I see it myself, there's this doom and gloom. We're in this, we're going to have a crash, and people really believe that. And I've got some facts that I think would let you see it from a different perspective to show that that's really not what we're seeing happen. So as we look at these drop in house prices, when you're getting this information, it's always usually from a U.S. standpoint. It certainly doesn't come down to the granular level of state or even county that we're in. But when we look at really where all those house prices drops are coming from, they're in a handful of states. It's the minority. It's places like Nevada and Arizona, California, etc. So that's kind of where that stuff is coming from. Um, Also, I think it's very important to state that a recession does not equal home value decrease. As we look at recessionary years, 1980, 81, 2001, and 2020, we all saw our home values go up. And most of those years were 6 to 6.5% increases, with one year being probably around 3.5 or so. We had a slight decrease in 1991 during that recession, but obviously 2008 is what many of us remember, and it was a huge decrease. But remember, there were different things going on in 2008. We had some really bad lending practices, and we had a ton of overbuilding. So that pulls me right into the next one. What about new construction? Really, what's happening with new construction? So we looked at new construction throughout the US from 1970 through about 2008, and there was a lot of building. There was a lot that was going on. And then obviously starting around 2009, we saw a pretty big decline. And for 14 years straight, we have had a decline below 52-year average in new home construction. So this plays a really big part in our low inventory that we've continued to struggle with for the last several years. And now we see why as you start to kind of look at the numbers. We also have 70% of the mortgage holders that with interest rates less than 4%. These people are not selling. You've got homeowners that are keeping their homes longer. They used to sell within about 6 years. Now they're 9 years. There's two other really great reasons why we have low inventory, and there's such a deficiency in this. And then finally, you've got homeowners with equity anywhere from 30 to over 50% in their homes. So they're not selling. They're not going to be, at this point, it doesn't make sense to them. Some of them that have enough equity that can buy their house outright cash, they may still be doing that. But we also are not seeing foreclosures and short sales because there's so much equity in these homes that people need to get out. They really have the ability to do so without it going to that. So these are some, just a handful of reasons noted right there of why we're kind of in this continued state of what I'll call still a seller's market with such low inventory. So supply versus demand. We just don't have enough of the supply. And in Florida, one of the statistics I was reading for Florida shows that we're about 65,000 units shy of what the demand is for homes. So and they're just not going to be able to build like that. We've had these issues with getting supplies, and I think that with the rates the way that they are, builders are just a little bit more hesitant on some of their building. So let's look at what the predictions were. Again, these came from, sources like Realtor.com, National Association of Realtors, Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae. And if we look at each of them, they all had their own kind of opinion on where we thought things were going to go. I think, and so when we look at it on an average of where they were at, their predictions were probably that we would not appreciate more than 0.1% for 2023 in home values. So let's look and see kind of where we're at. According to the statistics that we looked at, our updated price forecast for 2023 shows us at over 3% value increase. So not quite what they predicted. Some were closer than others, but we're showing around a 3%. And then we've got predictions for the next 4 years past that. And you kind of see it almost looks like a little stair step up of kind of where they think home values are going to be anywhere from 2 to 3.5, 4, and a little over 4%. And remember, each area has its own nuance. So here in Florida, we may actually be higher than those. This is, again, on a US level, but in Florida, probably the predictions are going to be more like 3 to 5%, depending on the area and how desired that area is. It kind of makes a determination on that. And of course, we wouldn't be complete if we didn't talk a little bit about mortgage rates. So the prediction is that with the rate hikes that we know are coming, we think that they'll peak out at 8, maybe 8.25. However, I've heard mortgage lenders tell me this all year long, that the prediction that the interest rates for next year were probably going to be between 5 and 6%. So this one came in indicating that they think by spring of next year we'll start to see these declines, and they do anticipate that rates will get somewhere between this 4.5 and 6%. So certainly that's positive for buyers out there. So anyway, I hope the additional information has been helpful. And obviously, if you have any questions or you want to chat with me a little bit, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love to talk to any of y'all, and I love talking real estate. So thanks so much for listening. Have a good one.